Could this be the last season of the illustrious career for one LeBron James? That's where we kick off today's Lakers Report by Chat Sports. My name is Harrison Graham. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. Obviously, media days have been ongoing across the NBA. Training camps getting rolling here as the NBA season is almost here. And LeBron admitted he did not know if this would be his last season in the National Basketball Association. He said, I don't know. I'm happy right now. I'm excited. Looking forward to tomorrow. I don't know what the end of this road or this season looks like. And look, I think when you get toward the end, that is really the mindset of a lot of these guys. They don't think too far ahead. I know Tom Brady for years. I want to play till 45. I want to play till 50, but you get to 38, you get to 40, and it really is year to year at that point. Now, why he came back, LeBron said he came back because watching his sons motivated him in the offseason moves. The Lakers made inspired confidence. And look, I'll push back a little there on him saying that. He was never retiring after last year. I just don't buy into that whatsoever. Now, on the flip side, I do think the Lakers did a good job this offseason of deepening their roster. I think Gabe Vincent's a really good backup point guard. Cam Reddish, we'll see if that pans out, but he's got some 3-and-D potential. Jackson Hayes, good rebounder, can play above the rim, good defender as well. Taurean Prince, a good stretch four that can shoot the three ball. And look, Christian Wood's the wild card. If he can keep his head on straight and play some good basketball, he's a capable 15 to 18 point scorer for this Lakers team. So keep an eye on him. And obviously, you still have that core in place. You bring back Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, you bring him back. DAngelo Russell is still in the fold as well. Rui Hachimura, who played really good for this team in the playoffs last year. Jared Vanderbilt has been extended also. So the Lakers have really committed here. I mean, you got to give their front office a lot of credit. Rob Pelinka and those guys doing a good job of running it back while also adding some key pieces. And, they weren't close to beating the Nuggets, but they were the second to last team standing in the Western Conference last year. Now with these additions and the Nuggets, losing a guy like Bruce Brown, could that gap be lessened? I think it's possible. I really do think it's possible. Now, let's talk about the injury front for King James. He did tear a tendon in his right foot and spent the entire offseason rehabbing to get back to 100%, where it seems to be right now. That's obviously a positive, but LeBron's had some injury concerns since joining the Lakers, if we're being completely honest. He's missed a lot of games. And look, he's 38, 39, 40 years old now. Like, he's not playing 82 anymore. That's just how it goes. And obviously, you want him to be fully healthy for the playoffs. I think he ran out of gas last year. I wouldn't be surprised if, he played less minutes on certain nights to preserve him for when it matters most. But let's be honest, the guy still has plenty left in the tank. He just does. I think he knows when he needs to go full throttle, when he needs to manage his body and things of that nature. But you get this guy into a playoff series, he's going to be one of, if not the best player on the court any given night. Now, it's not going to be every game like it once was, where every time he took the court, he was the best player playing. That may not be the case anymore, but is he someone that teams fear? Is he someone that the Lakers can look to go win a game? Absolutely. That stuff is still very much there for LeBron James and this Lakers basketball team. Now, what do you guys think? Is this his final season? Will LeBron James hang him up after this year? Type Y for yes, type in for no. I don't think so, Jim. I think he'll be back for at least one more year. Remember, he's got 2 years left in his contract, so I do think he will at least honor that contract, but I wouldn't be surprised if he played 3 or 4 more years. But here's what I will believe. I do think he is year to year at this point. I think he recognizes that with his body, his family, all that stuff. So I'm going to say no, it won't be his final year, but I wouldn't completely dismiss the possibility of that actually being the case. Now, today's show, sponsored by Prize Picks. Guys, the NBA season is almost back, and if you want to spice up your game day experiences, or hell, when the Lakers are on an off day, get started with Prize Picks. Daily fantasy sports. It's the best DFS game out there. That is Prize Picks, and here's how it works. You pick 2 to 6 players, and if they will go for more or less than their Prize Picks projections, you can win up to 25 times your money. What a deal for you. And even though games aren't here yet, you can do season-long picks with Prize Picks right now. Just a pick 2 right now, 20 to win 60, 3 extra money here. I'm going less on LeBron. I just said it earlier. I think he could play some less minutes this year. They might manage him a little bit. Still going to be very efficient, and I think it's a big opportunity for Anthony Davis. I'm going more for him on the rebounds. I think he's going to score a lot. He's going to be engaged. He said the other day, and we might talk about it here, that he wants to play all 82 games. Will that happen? I doubt it, but I like this pick 2 from Prize Picks. Listen, it's fun. You're not playing other players. It's just you against the projections. Don't have to worry about pros and sharks out there. Get started today. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Code CLNS. They'll get you a deposit match up to $100. Get started with Prize Picks right now. It takes less than 60 seconds to make any given entry. Okay, Anthony Davis sending a warning. He took a shot at the Denver Nuggets during media day, which, okay, that's interesting. They kind of were your daddy in the playoffs last year, but certainly of note here. Here's what AD had to say. It was just a lot of talking going on. All right, we get it. Y'all won. But me and Bron had some conversations just like, we can't wait. We feel like that we had enough to win. Obviously, we were climbing an uphill battle for 2 months trying to make it to the playoffs, but it's a lot of motivation. And look, they should be motivated. You got swept, bro. Like, you should be motivated. Now, I do think they have the tools to beat Denver. Denver lost a key piece in Bruce Brown, and the Lakers added a lot. And if LeBron and AD are full throttle for the playoffs, they can beat anybody in a series. They can. That's a dynamic duo right there. Now, I think some different ways to attack Denver and potentially beat them at a best-of-7 is you can play with size. That's been an emphasis for this team this offseason, adding Christian Wood, adding Jackson Hayes to pair next to Anthony Davis. You can do that. You can stretch the floor, spread them out, make Jokic defend on the perimeter, rebound well. I mentioned Anthony Davis, more than 11.7 rebounds. I think he's got to be a 12-plus rebound guy this year. Bench production. That is what you did this offseason by adding Gabe Vincent, by adding Christian Wood, by taking a flyer on Cam Reddish to see if he could do something. Maybe Jalen Hood-Schifino can give you something as well. Jared Vanderbilt could be a guy that comes off the bench. Hachimura at times could come off the bench, but I do think he'll start. You've got depth. You go 10-12 deep. Last year you weren't as deep, at least not with as many reliable players. So it's going to be interesting. I think the key is health because, a lot of your key players are obviously your two older guys in LeBron and AD. Not that AD's that old, but with his injury history, he kind of is in a sense. So you get those guys mostly healthy throughout the season, not having to, like AD say, kind of be full court press the last 2 months just to make the playoffs. And then I think they felt that in that conference finals. They just ran out of gas, whereas Denver kind of coasted throughout the season because they were consistent and healthy. That's going to be key. You got to stay high in the standings throughout the season. Don't play catch up. And obviously, you got to keep your key guys healthy. And that's true for any contender, but I think it's especially true with this basketball team. Will the Lakers win the Western Conference? If you think so, like the video. If not, comment why. Let us know down below why you don't think the Lakers will win the West. I think they have as good of a chance as anybody. I think it's the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Suns. Those are the three teams that I think can win the West with a couple of wild cards depending on how certain things go. But LA's got a great chance to do it. Guys, do you want year-round Lakers coverage, including the latest Lakers news, rumors, analysis, especially when the games start? If you're looking for that, free agency and draft coverage in the offseason, maybe some watch parties, prove it to us. Hit that subscribe button. The more subs we get, the more content we can do. We'd love to do some watch parties here on this channel. Up to you guys. Hit that subscribe button. DAngelo Russell, good news for him. He's been named the starting point guard. Gabe Vincent was signed, but they're going to bring him off the bench, at least for now. And I like that early. I think D'Lo deserves the first opportunity to prove he can be that guy. But the good news with Vincent is he's an ego-free player, so he'll take that role with no sweat off his back to start things off. Like, I feel like if you named him the starter and D'Lo off the bench, like, he would handle it much poorer than Gabe Vincent. So I think this is the right approach from Darvin Ham. Now, obviously for D'Lo, he did not play great in the playoffs and quite frankly wasn't a great fit after getting traded there. Certainly had some good games and wasn't bad, but did not have as big of an impact as he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, some of that is you're playing with LeBron and AD. At best, you're playing third fiddle, maybe fourth now with a guy like Austin Reeves and his emergence. So we'll see if D'Lo can get back to being more efficient, because he was playing really efficient basketball for the Timberwolves. I want to say he was shooting like 48% for the field, 38% from three before that trade. But obviously, he did not continue that in the purple and gold. Here's what Rob Pelinka told DAngelo Russell. For the time the trade happened until the end of the Denver series, let's look at it as a great honeymoon. You can go on a honeymoon with your significant other, and you can have 13 incredible days, perfect days. Then lunch on the 14th day, not as good as you want it to be. Doesn't mean it was an incredible trip. And I think what he's saying there is, hey, man, you're gonna start to start. Like, if you don't play well, then we're going to look at other options. And let's be honest, bringing him back more than anything else was potentially to have a salary that could get traded at the deadline if you can find a better piece, because they were already in the tax. So it's not like they could have not signed him and signed someone for that contract, 2 years, $35 million, whatever it was. So pressure's on D'Lo. He's got to produce. He's got to play well. He's got to be efficient. So very much a prove-it deal, and we'll see if he's able to live up to that. And if not, you know what Gabe Vincent brings to the table. He's not going to be super efficient, but he's scrappy defensively. He can run the offense. He's a streaky three-point shooter, and he's got winning pedigree. He was a integral piece of that Miami Heat playoff team last year. So that's a really nice piece to bring in here. He can start. He can come off the bench. That's what he's going to be doing to begin his career. And we know the Heat develop players very, very well. So you're getting a guy who's a professional and knows what he's doing. So I'm excited about that as well. What say you? I know DAngelo Russell's been named the starter, but who do you think should start? Type V for Gabe Vincent, R for DAngelo Russell. I'm okay going D'Lo first. I think give the higher ceiling player the opportunity to prove he can be that guy. But, you know, if you're Darvin Ham, 10 dozen games, if he's not fitting in well with that starting five, then I don't think you can hesitate to make a move to Gabe Vincent. All right, guys, it's going to do it for today's Lakers Report. Again, subscribe if you want more coverage on the purple and gold. We are the channel for you. My name is Harrison Graham. We will see you guys next time here on the Lakers Report.